You know, we're approaching the peak of hurricane season, and if you haven't already prepared for those high winds that blow in with a hurricane, now is the time. Hi, and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. Funds are now available to keep your house in hurricane-ready condition, and we will fill you in during our lead segment. Then find out why GermFree means business when we join reporter Joanne Magley on the Business Beat. And Community Information Director Dave Byron will be joined in the studio by Robin King with the Volusia Flagler Career Source. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. Hurricane season is here, and this is the time to get your house in shape. Forecasters have predicted a below-average hurricane season, but it only takes one hurricane to do major damage. When a big storm is approaching, it may be too late to protect your property from high winds and flying debris. Take a good look at your home, paying special attention to the most vulnerable areas such as the roof, windows, and doors. If you meet income eligibility requirements and need upgrades to improve your home's wind resistance, you may qualify for Volusia County's Wind Hazard Mitigation Program. The grant-funded program can assist with hurricane shutters for windows and doors, gable and tie-downs, and upgraded garage doors. The maximum loan per household is $10,000. Funds can be used for owner-occupied homes in Volusia County except within the city limits of Daytona Beach, Daytona, and Ponce Inlet.
No, the program's the same program that we've been promoting for several years, for our Wind Hazard Mitigation Program. And we just want to make people aware of the program, especially as we're in hurricane season once again, and you know, all the benefits that the program has. The program's been very popular. We've had a lot of people apply. Some people don't quite understand the program and get discouraged when they hear it's a loan, but it is a 5-year deferred payment loan, so as long as you live in your house for 5 years, you don't have to pay the loan back and the loan will be forgiven. The only thing that you owe are the closing costs for the loan, which average approximately $400.
For more information about the Wind Mitigation Program, you can visit volusia.org/housing, or you can call Volusia County's Community Assistance Division at 386-736-5955. As part of an ongoing effort to increase the number of off-beach parking spaces, the Volusia County Council recently celebrated the opening of the Toronita Avenue parking lot in Wilbur by the Sea. The county-owned lot features showers, decorative bike racks, and Florida-friendly landscaping. The restroom building resembles the nearby Wilbur Boathouse and reflects the charm of the beachside community.
So it's exciting for me to see a project like this from the beginning to the end. It started when I got on the council 6 years ago. You know, what happened over the 6 years is I went back to the citizens that live in Wilbur by the Sea, and we got together and said, hey, we think if we make some changes to this thing, it'll really be a better project. And as you can see, it looks very familiar. It looks like the Wilbur Boathouse, which architecturally fits with this community. And I think as a council and as a county, we want to make sure we try to fit, if we're building something, that it fits within the community it's in.
The $373,000 improvement project was funded by the Volusia Eco Program and the Ponce de Leon Inlet and Port District. This fall, Volusia County will begin making sidewalk and drainage improvements along South Atlantic Avenue in Wilbur by the Sea.
One thing you don't see right now out here that we're working on, and it's going to start in the next few months, is a connection of the sidewalk from Daytona Beach shores to Ponce Inlet. So there'll be a fluid connection between both, which is good for safety and obviously foot traffic, so people can walk up here when the tide's high or if they want to get off the beach a little bit as well.
The state and federal agencies now provide more than 3,500 off-beach parking spaces from Ormond by the Sea through the Canaveral National Seashore. Pardon the dust, but Daytona Beach International Airport is undergoing major renovations that will enhance the travel experience and improve safety for everyone. New restaurants, a coffee shop, and sports lounges will be built in the areas before and after the security checkpoints. Both areas will have a restaurant and lounge called the Junction Daytona. Before the security checkpoint will be the Junction Cafe. On the concourse will be a new grab-and-go snack bar called the Sugar Mill Cafe. Steve Cook, Business Development Director for Daytona Beach International Airport, said the changes are the result of a selection of a new operator for the county-run airport's restaurant and bar facilities.
Well, I think the food and beverage is really our most important concession. That's really where the customer interacts with the airport in many, many ways, so we're very concerned that that be a quality operation. Certainly the parking lot is another one where people see that every day, they use it every day, so that's going to be very important to the airport as well.
There are a number of construction projects happening outside the terminal, including the installation of new airfield signs and preparations for the construction of a new taxiway.
From an aircraft point of view, I think our taxiway project is also very important. It's in need of some rehabilitation. It's overdue. Pavements do have a life, and that pavement needs to be redone, and hopefully that'll get done. And another project we're working on now, which I didn't mention, is we're working on plans now to redo our fire station, which is on the south side of the airport. That fire station has been there about 40 years. The trucks are great, the crews are great, but the facility needs to be redone. And so we've been working on that from a design standpoint to try to get that to a point where it's a modern, efficient, ready-to-go facility that's going to meet the need of aircraft, firefighting, and protection.
Of course, for more information on Daytona Beach International Airport, you can visit flydaytonafirst.com.
Hello, I'm Dr. Willie Kimmons, a member of the Children and Families Advisory Board. This volunteer group works with the Volusia County Council and makes recommendations that promote healthy children and strong families. It is an honor and a pleasure to serve on this board. The county has openings on several advisory boards, which allow you to play an important role in the policy-making process. If you'd like to share your time and talents with your county government, we'd like to hear from you. Please visit volusia.org/advisory and complete an application of the board of your choice. Today, we must make a concerted effort to save our children, because our children are our future. Thank you.
GermFree is more than just a health standard, it's also a local business. Let's join Business Beat reporter Joanne Magley to find out more.
Tucked away in the Ormond Beach Business Park is GermFree Manufacturing Company. GermFree started in 1962, primarily producing equipment for hospital pharmacies. As the company grew, it expanded its product lines to include laboratory equipment for specialized labs and mobile and modular laboratories.
In GermFree, one of our main product areas is hospital pharmacy equipment. So we provide, if you've ever unfortunately had to visit someone in the hospital and they're hooked up to an IV, that IV bag is compounded or mixed in the hospital pharmacy. Well, they do that in front of a hood to make sure that the product remains sterile, and GermFree supplies about 35% of that market in the U.S. So really, any hospital in any city, there's a 30% chance that they have a germ-free product.
GermFree also produces glove boxes for more sophisticated biocontainment labs. The glove boxes provide safe methods for managing infectious materials. Mobile labs are one of the products manufactured by GermFree. A unit like this has all the equipment needed for technicians to scan people for diseases. GermFree started manufacturing mobile labs for the U.S. Army, providing the capability of taking a full-scale laboratory into the field. Many of the early mobile labs were used for detecting chemical agents. Today, mobile labs are used for everything from environmental air monitoring to food testing to health screenings.
Right now we have a mobile lab that's going to Jordan, and the use in Jordan is the concern with all the refugees coming from Syria, and they're not certain as to what diseases they may be bringing in. So this mobile lab will be for health screening concerns.
GermFree clients are primarily government, such as the Ministry of Defense or the Army, the Food and Drug Administration, or a university that wants to conduct research out in the field. GermFree also produces modular labs. which have a lifespan of 30 to 40 years and are built according to stringent building codes, including seismic loads for earthquakes. GermFree got into the modular lab business as a result of the evolution of its glove box contract with the U.S. Army.
From the glove box, the Army came back during the Desert Wars and said, hey, we like what you've done with the portable glove box, but now let's put it in the back of a Humvee. So from the back of a Humvee, we started providing larger labs for the U.S. Army. From the labs, the mobile labs, which is a truck or trailer that's designed to drive from day to day, we got into the modular lab. Modular labs are typically a lab that's put in place and it's really part of the institution. It doesn't often move.
Exporting makes up 65% of GermFree's business. Landy credits the county's Economic Development Division for helping expand his business to the global market.
Primarily, they've just opened doors from the local government to what's available from the state, as well as what's available from the federal guys in terms of helping small companies export.
GermFree has 59 employees. 54 of those employees earn an average wage of $46,000 a year. The company also offers tuition reimbursement for employees that have a desire to get or finish a degree. And although GermFree thinks very globally, Landy says the company is proud to be part of the Volusia County community.
We really like being in the Daytona area. We wanted, the management of GermFree wanted to be in a smaller community, but still close to 2 international airports. And our clients from overseas really recognize the Daytona name. You know, it doesn't matter if I'm in Senegal. For example, in this past month, I've been to China, Senegal, and Spain, all for business, and everybody recognizes Daytona.
For the Business Beat, I'm Joanne Magley.
Many of the items you throw out are not biodegradable and take centuries to break down. Reduce, reuse, recycle are separate but interconnected ideas that minimizes waste and saves money. The process is simple. The best way to reduce waste is to avoid creating it. According to the EPA, on average, Americans each produce over 4 pounds of trash per day. To help reduce trash, switch from plastic to reusable bags. Next, reuse items destined to be discarded. Get creative in reusing trash to reduce waste and save money. Finally, recycling takes items from materials that are discarded and turns them into new products. For example, plastic bottles can be recycled into carpet and benches. Many communities make recycling easy by offering programs such as curbside pickup. Newspaper, plastic bottles, glass, and pop cans are all recyclable items. Reduce, reuse, recycle decreases the amount of waste people create. Help keep our earth clean. Make the choice to reduce, reuse, and recycle today.
For more information on Volusia County's recycling program, you can visit volusia.org and select Recycling from the drop-down menu. In recent years, you've probably heard more about the benefits of including milk and other dairy products in the foods and beverages that you regularly consume. Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Volusia County Health Department, gives you an up-and-close look at why milk matters in this segment of Community Health Matters.
Milk matters.
Milk is very rich in protein as well as vitamin D oftentimes, so it's important for growth. But the problem with milk is the amount of fat in milk. And after age 2, we hope that children will choose low-fat milk in order to avoid the fat but still get the benefits of the protein in milk.
Children 9 years of age and older and adults need 3 8-ounce glasses of 1% low-fat or fat-free milk per day. Keeping in mind 1% low-fat and fat-free milk has as much vitamins and protein as whole milk or 2% reduced milk. Keep in mind, milk matters for strong bones and healthy bodies.
Dairy products are a great source of protein. There is more protein in just 8 ounces of milk than an ounce of meat. Protein is needed for growth and repair of your muscles and other tissues. It also helps in your fight against infection and disease. Calcium. Dairy products account for the largest source of calcium in the typical American food intake. Calcium helps prevent bone disease like osteoporosis and helps keep teeth strong. If you have 3 cups or the equivalent of milk products daily, you can improve your bone mass. Potassium. Milk products, especially fluid milk and yogurt, provide potassium, which may help to maintain a healthy blood pressure. Vitamin D. Most dairy products are fortified with vitamin D, which helps to build and maintain strong bones and keeps them hard. Vitamin A. Milk that is fortified with vitamin A can help keep your eyes and skin healthy. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County.
If you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can always log on to volusiahealth.com. Well, now it's time to head into the studio to join our very own Community Information Director, Dave Byron, with his guest, Robin King with the Volusia Flagler Career Source.
Well, thanks, Amber, and hi, everyone. Well, the Career Source Flagler Volusia is responsible for preparing people for employment and meeting the training needs of people seeking jobs and companies that need trained workers. Well, in addition, the agency plays a major role in assisting businesses in the aftermath of a hurricane. If you're a local business owner, you need to be aware of these services, especially if a storm approaches. We'll get the details today with our studio guest, Robin King. She's the president of Career Source Flagler Volusia. Robin, how you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
Hey, thanks for being here. First of all, I got to ask you about the name change. You know, a lot of people used to know you, I think, as the Center for Business Excellence, and you've had a name change. So what's up with that?
In February, all 24 regional boards changed their name to Career Source, insert geographic locator. And for us, it's Flagler Volusia.
All right, so for those folks out there that may not be familiar with the services that you provide, give us kind of a thumbnail sketch of what you do out there.
We are the Regional Workforce Board, and what we're tasked with is serving 2 customers, the job seekers who are seeking employment and for businesses who are seeking talent. And the word for it is labor exchange, where we just introduce the two, making sure that we have trained the workforce in what businesses need and getting them connected.
So businesses come to you and say, I could use a certain type of worker, and you say, I've got a certain type of worker that may work for you, huh?
Yes.
You know, we know that the economic signs in Volusia County and in the Flagler area, in your case, they are certainly getting better. We've talked in years past where it was a little discouraging. The unemployment rate was real high, and you know, the economy was pretty lagging. Much different picture today. What are you seeing out there in the job picture these days?
We're seeing a lot more job orders coming in from businesses, and it's not just the big businesses. For a while there, it was medical, for example. The health field was always, you know, constant.
Right.
But some of the smaller places now are putting in job orders, so it's a healthier economy than what we've been seeing for the last few years. And we still have a number of job seekers, but just looking at last year's numbers, it looks like we served about 5,000 less than we had the year before, so it's coming along.
You know, one of the things that we've talked about here on Volusia Magazine in the past is that there are some good jobs in the Volusia Flagler area, and one of those sectors is manufacturing.
Yes.
You know, and in many cases, our manufacturers are having a little bit of a difficult time in getting the qualified workers they need, and so therefore the training comes in. That's where the college, yourself, and so forth tries to put these training programs together to match the needs of manufacturers, and manufacturers are paying wages well above the average wage in Volusia County.
Yes, that's true. The Daytona State College is participating in a program where they developed curriculum specifically for what the manufacturers locally needed, and then we've been sponsoring individuals who are qualified for that, and we've been doing very well with that.
So if I'm unemployed or perhaps new to the area and I'm trying to get into the workforce, and I want your agency to help me out, what do I do? I mean, how does that, what services do you provide to people looking for jobs?
They can walk through our door either electronically or they can come through our physical doors. We have 3 centers in the 2-county area, and we help with anything from the resume, you know, taking that 10-page resume that it's got all those details and getting it down to 1 page, because that's what businesses really want, helping with cover letters and uploading that into a statewide database where businesses can see it. you know, any business can go in and look as well. Helping with just some of those soft skills that you might, you know, when's the last time you did an interview?
Right.
You know, helping with that and being prepared for the kinds of questions that are asked today, because businesses are asking questions that are beyond the hard skills. They
Right.
want to make sure that you fit the culture, that you're going to fit with their company, so helping prepare for that. And then if someone doesn't have a skill set that really is competitive in today's market, what we'll do is we help pay the tuition either to attend a school, or the new program that we're going to be starting this fall is paid work experience, where we're going to get them out there so they can see maybe what the new technology is or whatever the new skills are.
You know, Robin, one of the things that comes to mind when you just said, you know, employers are looking for certain things, a good fit in their workforce. One of the things I know here at the county that has changed in the last few years, and that is when people come in and look for jobs for the county and the county may be interested, one of the things they do is check Facebook pages.
Oh yeah.
And that's a new dynamic, and I wondered if you provide that sort of advice to people seeking employment, because
Certainly.
a Facebook page can be a good or not so good thing.
We run some youth programs, and
Right.
we really try to drill that to them, that what used to be private is now global.
Right, absolutely.
And people will look, even if they're not supposed to. They're going to be judging you on your character in your private life.
Switching gears a little bit, going back to the '04 hurricanes, we had in Volusia County, we had back-to-back hurricanes.
Yes.
We had, you know, Francis, Charlie, and Jean. And, you know, what we found in the aftermath of those hurricanes is that there were businesses that were out of business because of the storm, trying to get back into business, get operational again, needed certain goods and services to get back into business. And then we had the other side where the responders responding to the public, you know, needed certain goods and services to provide support to the public. And the two oftentimes matched up. And as a result of the '04 hurricanes, your organization, the Daytona Chamber, Volusia County Emergency Management, you formed kind of a new system for businesses.
Yes.
Tell us about that, because it's important for businesses. Here we are in hurricane season, and this is part of the planning.
Thankfully, 10 years later.
Yeah, we haven't had to use it. That's
yes,
good.
Yes, it is. But we've been practicing, just in
Right,
case,
right.
in which I'm grateful for the county and organizing what they do. It's incredible. The preparation that goes into something that sometimes with hurricanes you get some advance notices, but what we learned in Charlie that in '04 is all of a sudden it just turns left or right, and you know, it's 24 hours later it's happening. So what we learned out of the '04 was that our local businesses need to know what our other businesses have to offer. And that's where we come into play when it's requested by the county, Business Operations Center, is that we're prepared to be an offshoot for the county's response in helping businesses talk to each other. It only works though when businesses sign up now and let us know what kind of resources they have. I think one of the best, simplest examples that I've heard is that one business needed ice, and so they were going outside the county and getting ice.
Right.
But all those hotels that were closed with full ice bins had ice that they could have used, you know, so it's just little things like that, that it might not even be just normally what you sell, but there's a lot of resources that you might not think of as a product, but if you think of it as what would be needed during no power and when other businesses are looking around. So we have a contact form that businesses can go online now, anytime, and fill that out so that we can put that in the database, and that way when we're activated by the county, we'd have you know, the good information and up-to-date information for businesses.
Yeah, let's be clear on that. What I'm hearing you say is that if you are a business in this area, Volusia area, you need to be in this database. You need to have your company registered, and I suppose that you have kind of a profile of what services they provide and that sort of thing.
What product they might have.
What product they might have, and perhaps what they might need to get back in business. I know the hotels, you mentioned the hotels, you know, there were some hotels, I think in '04, that it was just a matter of getting some mattresses and some bed linens and so forth, and they could get back into business very quickly, and those products and services were hard to come by. And yet they might have been available locally.
And the more we can take care of each other internally instead of going outside to bring product in.
And of course, you know, on the other side of that, for the local businesses, you know, when the cities and counties in the state are responding to the public, they need certain goods and services in that response. And obviously, you know, you got businesses that may have loss of income because they're out of business, and so therefore they could use, you know, the procurement locally of goods and services. And so we found, as we say, repeating ourselves a little bit here, but we found in the 04 hurricanes that there were some materials that were purchased outside of the county that were readily available here.
Right.
So for businesses out there, Robin, that are hearing this message, what do you advise them to do again? How do they get into this database?
There's a contact form on a special website we have. It's volusiaboc.com. And there's a contact form right on there. They can fill that out and send it in. Or it would just send in electronically. There's phone numbers that we'll post at the end of the show where they can call as well, so that they can, if they have any questions.
Right.
But now is the time. Just any preparation that a business could do. Now is the time to do it, as opposed to 24 hours ahead of time.
Yeah, and that's a point that you know, we certainly stress during hurricane season. You know, as we're taping here, we're just starting to get into the early peak of hurricane season, and in Florida it peaks in about the middle of September. And it's very difficult for homeowners or business owners to prepare when that storm is breathing down your neck. And so the best advice, I think, Robin, that you would give is that businesses really need to think about continuity of operations. How do I get back in business? How do I notify my employees? What do I need to do to protect my goods and services, my structure, and so forth? It's all about preparation. Having
backup plans. You know, if something happens, and it's not always just hurricanes too. I mean, for a business to, you know, our office years ago, you know, overnight burnt down. Right. And you show up the next morning, it's like, do you have any plan on where you're going to conduct business if your office isn't available, if your business isn't available? Do you have your records stored off-site, for example? Right. How do you notify your employees to come to work or not come to work, or, you know, maybe they have to take a different route to get to work? So. All of that. Well, Robin, I want to thank you for sharing the information with us today. It sounds like the picture in Volusia and Flagler counties is much better than it was a few years ago. So thanks for sharing the information with us today. Our guest today is Robin King of CareerSource, Flagler and Volusia County. And with that, Amber, we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a wonderful evening.